Well, good morning, friends. Crystal here from Homemaking on the Homestead, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to just briefly talk to you guys about distractions. They are everywhere, they're all around us, and it is so easy to be dragged away and pulled away by all kinds of various distractions. And how do we keep our focus, and what is our focus supposed to be? That is the topic for today's video. So before I get started, I usually do these kind of videos as a kind of a coffee with Crystal, which I just did in my last video, and it is getting on to late morning here. Before I know it, it's going to be noon, and I just had all kinds of other things going on, so I decided we would skip that because currently I'm working on water, trying to get my water in for the day, and and that's right, and I've got this project going on back here. Guess what I'm doing? I'm canning again. Yep. I am just so in love with my canner. I actually have it sitting on the table this time. I don't have a lot of counter space, so I just decided to move it over here to my table and just free up my counter space. So I am canning today Italian beef. It's another great use for that jar of pepperoncinis. Do y'all remember that? I talked about that in several videos back. You know, what do I do with this? So I've been adding it to soups, and I've been adding it to, you know, various other things, salads and whatnot, but that was a big jar. So I thought, hey, let's do Italian beef. So that is my goal today. I think this should be a pretty easy recipe because it is, I've got 6.5 pounds of beef. I think it's a rump roast that I picked up at Costco. I have the pepperoncinis. I have some Italian seasoning, kind of like the dressing mix that you would buy at the store. However, grab it. This is my own homemade, and I have a video where I have this recipe, so I will definitely link that for you. But so I'm going to use that for my seasoning, the beef, the pepperoncinis, and some chopped onions. I have 8-pint jars ready to go. I'm not sure how much 6.5 pounds is going to fill in the jars. We'll see how far it goes. If I don't have 8 jars, then I'll probably just add in some extra beans or whatever so I can can a full canner load. Anyway, let's get on with today's topic on distractions. I was having a lovely conversation with one of my dearest and best friends, and our lives have both gotten so busy and we don't always have the time to sit and chat, but it just so happened that we both had time the other day. And one of the topics we started talking about was distractions. And there are so many distractions out in this world today, whether it is from the world news, the politics, maybe it's drama from friends or workplace drama, social media. All these things can just cause so many distractions for us. And her and I both agreed on the fact that I really believe, especially with where our society is today and where are the events going on around the world today, I don't know, but I believe that as I see everything ripping away at the fabric of the family, of Bible, of God's plan for our lives, I really see these distractions are from, they're from the enemy. They are from Satan. And I think we need to be diligent to guard ourselves and our homes concerning these distractions. When I looked up the definition for distraction, it was to draw our attention away from everyday things. There was another definition that said to drag us away from everyday things. And when it comes to things like news and world events, I don't think that we should be ignorant of it. I think that we do need to know what's going on. And I think we should not be putting our heads in the sand and just saying, no, I'm just going to, have my narrow focus here. I don't believe that, but I also don't believe that it is something that we should necessarily be putting a lot of our energy and emotion into. I think that is part of the drawing us away from God's purpose and God's plan. As I see things try to destroy what God has laid out in His Word for society, for homes, families, things like that, I think that part of that distraction is just going to be continuing to do the same thing. We're going to continue to not be focused on what is most important. And so I believe what is most important is our homes. And I think that that is where our focus needs to be. In the big scheme of things, where do I make the biggest difference? Where do you make the biggest difference in life? Is it going to be getting wrapped up in the news, getting wrapped up in drama, getting wrapped up in social media? Is that where your big difference is going to be? I don't believe so. I think actually the home and the smallest of everyday things, that is where we are going to make the biggest difference. Isaiah 32:18 says, "My people will live in peaceful dwellings, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest." And as a homemaker, that is what we need to create. We need to create that for our husbands, our family, for people that come into our homes. We need to create that undisturbed places of rest. The Bible has some great examples of people who got distracted and how it came to a lot of destruction and even death. Samson and Delilah is one great example. He got so distracted with Delilah that he gave away his secrets and ultimately was the cause of his death. Another great one is David and Bathsheba. He got so distracted by her that it ultimately resulted in the death of his child with her, and he went on to make some very poor decisions afterwards that were very costly. So, and Eve, what about that? The ultimate distraction. The serpent was able to pull her aside and convince her that, yes, this is going to make you all knowledgeable, just like God. And she fell for that distraction. There's a lot of reasons why we need to be very diligent and not allow ourselves to be distracted. I think that there's also a balance, because another one is Mary and Martha. And Martha's concern, because Mary was so distracted by Jesus, ended up not being something. There are those times where we need to have the balance and know when a distraction is for the right purpose. And in this day and age, I think we, as all of us, of course I'm speaking to homemakers, but all of us need to really focus on wisdom. And the Bible says that if you pray for wisdom, that the Lord will give you that wisdom. And Proverbs 24:3 says, "By wisdom a house is built." So let us be wise and discerning, wise as serpents, gentle as doves, so that we are not led in the wrong direction. And Proverbs 31:27 is even more directed. She watches over the ways of her household. Sometimes I believe that we feel like this, how is cleaning the house and making the bed and doing the laundry and doing all those things, how is that making a difference when you see so much around you going on? And let me tell you, it is, because the home is the foundation of our society. It is the foundation that God created. And all that time and energy focused on what God has created and building that up is going to be moving us in the right direction and doing what I believe that God is calling us to do. And oftentimes we need to learn to identify the distractions that we have in our life so that we can build godly homes, that we can build safe homes, that we can build peaceful and undisturbed homes. I really like this verse that comes from John chapter 10, verse 10, and it says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." And, throughout history, there has been all kinds of disturbances going on, all kinds of unrest, all kinds of political drama, war, things, people. But yet the message is the same then as it has been, as it is now. And let's remember what it is. Let's keep our focus on exactly what the Lord would have us be doing right now. Remove the distractions, put them in their proper place. Learn that balance between knowing what is happening and, letting ourselves emotionally live in that, and to stay right where it is that God would want us to be. Because as a homemaker, I believe that this is the most important work that we can possibly do for God's kingdom. Okay, ladies, I am going to move forward with my afternoon here and get my Italian beef all canned up, and we have sunshine. I'm so happy. So I'm going to go outside and enjoy some outdoor time, spend it with my grandkids, snuggle with that new grandbaby, and you know, that's my day. So I hope you all have an amazing and blessed day, and I thank you for spending this time with me, and yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.